Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You've become the United States' first three-time women's Olympic medalist.
It's a dream. It's so crazy. I'm so grateful. This is just a dream. I look back on my career and I'm like, I never would have thought as a young girl I could achieve this.
Walk us through those 30 seconds.
You know, I just, wrestling for me is like, it's my form of worship. So when I'm like very dialed in and in tune with God, I'm just praying, and I feel like I want to just go out there and like honor him with the gift that he's given me in wrestling, and I want to give it back to him. So I don't think about what I'm going to do. I'm just in a zone, and whatever happens, happens. So this, I think, reflects just me being really grateful to just get these 3 Olympics and get this amazing journey.
You showed a lot of emotion there after the match. What was running through your mind?
It's been great emotionally throughout this whole year especially, but I've just had a lot of cries just, you know, with the realistic thought that this could be my last Olympics. And, you know, I really thought that I was going to win in the semifinals, and I thought all my preparations were amazing. And when that didn't happen, it was like, I mean, I just battled with a lot emotionally that I really haven't dealt with heartbreak at the Olympics yet. And it was very hard all day to really like keep those tears at bay and just focus on the job and then really wrestle with joy. I didn't want to just like go out there and wrestle scared or wrestle to win. I really wanted to wrestle my very best, because if this is the last memory I have of myself on the mat, I wanted it to be something beautiful. And so that's kind of what happened. And the tears, it just, a lot was, I don't know, it was everything. Sorry.
How will that decision come down to? You know, you're talking about you're not sure. I know you've mentioned going in, maybe.
I've really just always prayed. And I feel like I've always gotten like a clear answer. And these last Olympics, I remember I was praying, and I thought I was gonna be for sure have to be done after Tokyo because of all the head injuries, and I didn't even know if I could make it through to Tokyo, to be honest. And then it was like 3 days before, it felt like I was back to my old self, got to wrestle the way that I always wanted to, and I was like, man, this is crazy, like why stop now? And I prayed about it, and I felt like God said, hey, it's whatever you want, you know, this is the cherry on top if you want to keep going. And I was like, well, I worked so hard to get healthy. Why would I stop now? Like, let me go. This time around, I've been praying a lot, and I still don't know yet. I'm like, but you know, there's some other things that I want in life. I think there's some things I need to do to take care of myself and my body, and you know, it's like, I really love this sport. You know, I love it, and I think I'm just, you know, it's not that I'm holding on because of anything competitively or accolade. It's like, I really do just like love what I get to do. And the way that I experience God through that is like just been really beautiful for me. And so, but you know it's going to come to an end at some point. So, I don't know, sorry.
Is that why you didn't leave the shoes? I mean, you're still waiting for an answer, I guess?
Yesterday I was like, I'm leaving these damn shoes. Like, I don't care what happens, I'm throwing these things. Like, I'm leaving them on the mat. And then I just was like, well, God, I didn't have a clear answer, and I was like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
USA Women's Wrestling, 3 medals already. I think it's the most that they've ever won at an Olympics.
I think we had 4 last. Four last time. Yeah. It's been
golds.
Yeah.
Where is USA Women's Wrestling right now? You got 2 20-year-olds here.
Yeah, I mean, we have 1 gold from a 20-year-old, and then Sarah Hildebrand is one of our older athletes, and so it's just so cool to see that whole spectrum. I think this is the first time in the Olympic history that we've had 2 golds. So I think that shows that we're growing and things are just getting better. And you know, when you got 20-year-olds on the team, you know, hopefully they're going to be running 3 Olympics. So it's I'm really excited. I think women's wrestling is growing, and we don't even have full NCAA Division I schools with programs yet. So I just can't even imagine what it will be like when we have that.
With the NCAA championships coming, 2026, what do you think that could do for the sport to have a pinnacle event like the men do at that level?
Sorry, say that again?
When the women get that NCAA championship, what could that do for the sport, both at this level, but just overall?
I think it's going to be huge. Like, when I started wrestling, I was 7 years old, and I fell in love with it right then. And my parents came back to me after my first season, and they said, hey, you have to quit because there's no future for you. Like, you know, what are you going to do, grow up wrestling boys in high school? That's weird. And there's no scholarships. There's no, like, there wasn't a path. Whereas when you add NCAA Division I women's wrestling now, it's like from a young age, these parents can see, like, hey, there's a path. Like, there's a path for these girls to take. There's going to be opportunity. There's going to be scholarships. They can go to their school. They can go to their parents' alma mater, whatever it is. And so there's so many barriers that we've just like been having to go through since then. So.
What's it mean to be an inspiration to the girls that now have a path?
You know, there are a lot of women that came before me that made a way. There are women that never got an Olympic dream, but because they were on the mat, they made it so that women's wrestling would get added to the Olympics. So to be kind of continuing that and passing having the baton get passed, it's been an honor, and I'm super excited to pass that baton on. And you see these young girls now on these Olympic teams, like with Amit and Kennedy, so it's been passed, and they're going to do great things with it.
Helen, you had the mountaintop experience of beating Yoshida in Rio, and then just all the adversity you had to come through to even get on the mat in Tokyo, and then to finish here with a pin. Us journalists love to ask those types of questions, like ranking them, but like how, when you look back at your 3 medals, what are you going to remember about this one, or how do you put them, the 3 accomplishments together? Obviously, they were so different.
Obviously, like the way that everything happened in Rio and with preparing for Yoshida, and with something like that, it's like, I remember right after Rio, someone said, hey, just to let you know, you'll never get to experience this again. Like, there's not going to be a 16-time world Olympic champion that's been undefeated in the Olympics that you're going to get to go against. So like this high is like a little bit of a different high that you experienced. And so I was like, oh, okay. And that was interesting perspective. Tokyo was a dream come true. I mean, I lost in the semis to Japan. It was 2-1. It was all passivity points, but I really felt like I was completely at peace. I didn't have like any heartbreak or anything, because I knew what I'd fought through, and I literally had given it like literally my all. So the fact that I could like be right there so close, it's like, I was just like, man, I can't even believe that I was healthy enough to do this. This time was probably the first time that I've really experienced heartbreak. In that semifinals, I mean, I bawled my eyes out while I was cutting weight, and I've never experienced heartbreak at the Olympics before, which is really, it's a gift, but I think it's also been a gift to experience this, because if I'm going to go into coaching, I think I'll be able to empathize or understand that. Whereas, before I didn't. So this was like one of the hardest things in the sport to have to pull myself up from. But that means I put my whole heart and body and everything into it, so I don't regret it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.